Anybody that has been reading any guitar related or gear related website these past few weeks may have noticed a rumor about the Marshall Blues Breaker being reissued in its vintage glorious form, and that was entirely true because Thomann, the dealer in Germany, couldn't shut up about it. They actually started selling these units way prior to launch, and I have an opinion about that, and it's a strong one, and I'm not gonna share it here. But yeah, it's true, and it's fantastic news because the original ones generally fetch around 500, 600 euros or dollars on Reverb, and now it's available in a much more affordable package. And in this video I'm going to compare the new one to an original one, which I borrowed from my buddy Clemens. Thank you, Clemens, for borrowing it to me. And we're gonna see how these two pedals stack up. This is the new one, the Vintage Reissue one, which you heard in the intro, and this is the original one. So I'm gonna plug this in and I'll be right back. Okay, so looking at these pedals side by side, they look practically identical. The size of the enclosure is the same. The new one just has a smaller font on the gain, tone and volume lettering, and the Blues Breaker logo looks a little different, a little more bold. And it's a different shade of blue, but the original one may have faded over time, I don't know, but if you look at it, it looks like a Blues Breaker. I have tried them side by. I wanted to keep like my reaction for the video and not try them, but I couldn't resist, so I've already tried them. But I would say listen for yourself and make up your own mind, because my opinion doesn't matter. So they're both engaged now. I'm gonna let you hear the clean tone first. I'm gonna play my, well, kind of new Epiphone Les Paul Special, which is somewhat modified, as you can see. I did a lot of, basically only the wood and the inlays are original and everything else has been changed. There will be a video about it on my channel in a couple of weeks, whenever I get around to editing that monster of a video. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see that. So let's dive right in. Enough talking. I feel like I've talked for way too long already. Guitar pick here. It's resonant. It's a resonant guitar. Here we go. Let's start with the clean tone. Going into the Silk Tone amp, and it's a little bit on the edge of breakup. And this guitar is out of tune. I did a lot of bending on the intro jam. Clean tone. Let's start with the original one and get a tone there, and then I'm gonna try and match the tone on the new one. Let's match pots and see what this does. Okay. Now, switch to bridge pickup. So the old one has a little less compression. I don't know if it's overdriving already, the new one, but it seems like there's a little bit less compression going on in the old one. Let's try the clean boosty thing. And the new one. Sounds a little less muffled. The old one sounds like it has a little more bass. And as you can see, I mistakenly set this pot a little lower, but it has the same kind of amount of gain, so it has more gain. Let's set the gain at 2 o'clock. Old one. I like this tone better, but when I engage the new one, roll back. The drive gain knob a bit. So, about the same amount of gain, less compression in this one. Sounds more open and dynamic. DRYNAMIC. Let's see how the old one does clean up. The differences are so incredibly small. The fact that this one has more gain could even be due to tolerances in components, because a component has a certain value. And after the value it says like 5% or 10% or 20%. And that means that component can deviate from that value by that amount. If it's like all 10% difference, like 10% plus and 10% minus, you'll get a 20% difference. From what I'm told, the circuits are exactly the same. So it could really well be that those tolerances are causing the difference in tone. When you put two old Blues Breaker units together, they won't sound identical either. So I would love to get like 2 new ones on this board to see if there is a change in tone as well. Alright, opening up the guitar volume again. Let's crank the gain on both. So this is the, it's a little noisy now. Let's dial it back a bit. Well no, let's crank it so we have like a real representation of what cranked does. The old one, cranked. And then the new one. had to roll back the tone knob a bit there, because this really sounds brighter. There are really, really, really tiny differences. But the character is so there that I think they've done an amazing job in recreating such a loved pedal from the past. I have another video showing the whole range of the new Marshall Vintage Reissues, like the Governor and the Shred Master and the Drive Master as well. And there I play them with a Strat. So if you want to hear that, be sure to hit the link there, up there, and go check that out. And let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts are on this. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, because it would help me a lot. And if you really like what I do, there is a link down below in the description to buy me a coffee, because that helps to grow the channel. And if you want to score some of my jam tracks, like the one you've heard in the intro jam, you can find those on my Patreon page. See you next time. Bye.